And Chair, we are ready to begin whenever you're ready.
Great. I'd like to call the meeting to order of the Barrie Police Service Board, January 20th, 2022. Begin by welcoming those that may be joining us virtually or watching us later on. Welcome. The Barrie Police Service acknowledges this sacred land has been the site of human activity for 15,000 years. This land is the territory of the Huron-Wendat and the Anishinaabe Nation. We are dedicated to honoring Indigenous history and culture. We also recognize the enduring presence of Indigenous peoples on these lands and are committed to moving forward in the spirit of reconciliation and respect. Big witch. I will begin by then handing it over to Ms. Young to lead us through our election of chair and vice chair and our subcommittees for the year. Ms. Young?
Thank you, Chair. First, we're going to call the election or for nominations of position of chair for the board for the year 2022. So if there are any nominations, if you please put them forward now. Councillor Thompson, go ahead.
I would like to nominate Mr. Ferguson as chair.
Thank you. And Chair Ferguson, are you willing to stand?
I am.
All in favor?
Aye.
In favor.
And that's carried. Mr. Greg Ferguson will remain the chair for the Barrie Police Services Board for 2022. We will now call for nominations for the position of vice chair for the board for the year of 2022.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Thompson.
Thank you. And Councillor Thompson, are you willing to stand?
I am, thank you.
It is carried then. Councillor Thompson will also remain the vice chair for the Barrie Police Services Board for 2022. Next, we'll move into our first subcommittee. It's going to be for the budget subcommittee. Calling for nominations for 2 members for the budget subcommittee for 2022.
Ms. Young, can I nominate 2 people?
Sure, you can.
Mayor Lehman, please, and Ms. Strawn, I think would be wonderful additions.
And Mayor Lehman, are you willing to stand?
No, Lynn's on her own. I'm just kidding. Yes, absolutely.
Thanks a lot.
And Lynn, are you willing to stand?
Yes, I am.
And now the nominations are closed. We will have Mayor Lehman, Lynn Strawn, along with the board chair, Chair Ferguson, on the budget subcommittee for 2022. Next, we are going to call for nominations for the policy and bylaw subcommittee.
I would like to, if I may, nominate along with the Vice Chair Thompson, Arif. Mr. Khan, please.
Thank you. Eric, are you willing to stand?
I am, thank you.
And if there's no further nominations, the nominations are now closed. And Arif Khan, along with the board vice chair, Councillor Thompson, will remain on the policy and bylaw subcommittee for 2020. And the election is now closed.
Thank you, Ms. Young. Appreciate that. Provided in advance for everyone was a copy of the agenda for today's meeting. A motion to approve the agenda, please. Mayor Lehman.
Seconded.
Second to Mr. Collins. Any discussion, comments with respect to those minutes? Or excuse me, that agenda? Seeing none, all those in favor?
In favor.
None seeing or
In
hearing,
favor.
none opposed. Thank you. Any declarations of conflict of interest with respect to today's agenda by any of the members? Seeing and hearing none. Included in our package was the minutes from our meeting of December the 9th, 2021. A motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Mr. Khan?
I'll second.
Ms. Strawn, any comments on the minutes? Questions? Those in favor?
In favor.
Seeing and hearing, all in favor, thank you. And Chief, I'll hand it over to you, please, for some very important exemplary service medals and awards. Please, Chief.
Good afternoon, members of the board and those that are joining us remotely to participate in our police services board meeting for the first of 2022. And I can say that with the ongoing pandemic response, the Barrie Police Service has been unable for the last 2 years to hold our annual in-person awards ceremony. The awards ceremony was a time to celebrate and recognize bravery, exceptional achievements, and the efforts of citizens and members of the Barrie Police Service. Additionally, during our in-person awards ceremony, we would present civilian service pins and police exemplary service awards and bars. In lieu of the awards ceremony, I would like to take this opportunity during our police services board meeting to present 5 members with their 20-year police exemplary service medals and 1 member with a 20-year civilian service pin. The civilian service pin pays tribute to dedicated civilian members who play an indispensable role within our organization. Our civilian members provide critical and essential services. Without these members, our service would not accomplish its core business as effectively as it does. The Police Exemplary Service Medal is a national recognition for 20 years of exemplary service. For every additional 10 years of exemplary service, a bar is awarded. The Police Exemplary Service Medal and Bar is issued by the Chancellor of Canada's Orders and Decorations and is authorized by Her Majesty the Queen as a national honor. In addition to their exemplary medals that these recipients will be receiving, they will also receive congratulatory scrolls from the City of Barrie Mayor Lehman, who's sitting as a member of our board, and our federal and provincial government. So I will start with Joanne Furlong, your 20-year pin. Please come forward. Joanne began her career with the Barrie Police Service in 2001. Prior to the Barrie Police Service, Joanne held various positions with the Greater Toronto Airport Authority. During her time at the Barrie Police Service, Joanne has worked as a 911 operator, records clerk, and her current position as administrative assistant under operational services. Joanne's current responsibilities include the support of our Inspector in Operational Services, Administrator of Prey Duties, False Alarms Coordinator, and Joanne sits on the Policing Pay Duty Committee, the False Alarm Policing Committee, and the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Committee within the Barrie Police Service. Joanne is married to Glenn Furlong, who recently retired as a sergeant within our service. In her spare time, Joanne stays active with her running partner, Dixie, a lovely golden doodle, and enjoys designing and renovating homes. Congratulations, Joanne. We have your pin for you. There you go. We'll hold that, and we're just going to take a quick shot there. Right. Okay, thank you. We will now move on to our exemplary medals. We will start with Staff Sergeant Ange Butler. If you will come forward, please. As Ange makes her way up here, I will begin with her career. She started in policing in 2000 with the Peel Regional Police, and then became a member of the Barrie Police Service in 2004. During her time with our service, she has worked in operational services, community services, corporate communications, human resource recruiting, community resource unit, and as the executive officer to the chief. Thank you. She was promoted to the rank of sergeant in 2017 and the rank of staff sergeant in 2020. She is currently assigned to operational services on a platoon. Ange is very active in her community with various volunteer efforts, which include her position on the board of the Survivors of Law Enforcement and a member of the Parent Teachers Council for her children's schools. Congratulations, Anne. Thank you. Next, we have Constable Marco Coglioni. Close? No. Cogpigone. Oh my gosh, now I have practiced. I spent a lot of time practicing, and my apologies. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Marco Smith.
Marco Smith. Okay, perfect. I love it. Okay, Constable Smith Mark joined the Barrie Police Service in 2006 after joining the Waterloo Regional Police Service in 2000. During his time with the Barrie Police Service, Marco has enjoyed his position as our frontline officer and most recently as the platoon's dedicated station duty officer. The platoon's schedule has been ideal for Marco and his family, and it assists him with his passion for home renovations, specifically his meticulous work on tiles. So if anybody's looking for some great work around our campus, we know who to call upon. When Marco is not working or renovating at home, he enjoys traveling with his wife and 2 children. So congratulations, Marco. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Next, we'll call upon Constable Osborne, please. Brent Osborne began his career in 2000 with the Toronto Police Service before becoming a member with the Barrie Police Service in 2011. During his time with the Barrie Police Service, Brent enjoyed working in uniform patrol on a platoon, and Brent's recent application to join the traffic unit was a successful one, and as of 2 weeks ago, he is now working as a dedicated traffic officer. He's looking forward to being trained as a traffic collision reconstructionist, and he's also excited for the summer season to arrive, especially in our deep freeze, so he can become and utilize his boating skills on Kempenfelt Bay in our marine unit. When not working, Brent and his wife enjoy traveling. Imagine this, kids free as their children have all grown up. So congratulations, Brent. Great, thank you. And now that I would ask for Mark Ribicki to come forward, please. Constable Ribicki began his career in 2000 with the Peel Regional Police Service before becoming a member of the Barrie Police Service in 2004. Mark worked on the front line in uniform patrol from 2004 until 2007 when he joined the Tactical Support Unit. In 2016, he finished his tenure as a tactical support officer and joined our training unit in 2017, where he is currently assigned. He has obtained the qualification of a provincial use of force instructor and a master taser trainer. When away from work, Mark spends quality time with his family, which includes camping and multiple outdoor activities. Mark has been a volunteer with the Barrie Sharks Hockey Association as an assistant coach for the past 9 years. Congratulations, Mark. Thank you very much. And if we can call Sergeant Kevin Scales up to the front also. Kevin began his career in 2000 with the Barrie Police Service, where he worked in uniform patrol on a platoon before he joined investigative services and worked in several units, including crimes against persons, street crime, guns and gangs, and general assignments. In 2016, Kevin was promoted to the rank of sergeant and enjoyed a quick 9-month period as patrol sergeant before heading back to investigative services, where he oversaw a team of general assignment investigators. In 2019, Kevin brought his keen investigative skills to the homicide unit and continues to work here today. When not at work, Kevin enjoys many activities like camping, fishing, as well as personal fitness and spending time in the gym. Congratulations, Kevin. Next, we had some help there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Congratulations. And please join in me in congratulating all of our members who've received medals and pin today. Thank you, Ange, Mark, Brent, Mark, Kevin, and Joanne for your years of service to our community. Collectively, you have done an amazing job, and I look forward to seeing you over the next few years as you continue to serve our community. Thank you so much. And for those that weren't aware, we were taking pictures, and underneath all of our masks, we were smiling. Thank you very much, and congratulations once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, to all our defensive feedback there.
Chair, you should be good now. I just removed the command boardroom.
Thank you, Chief, and to all our recipients, on behalf of the board, congratulations for your 20 years of service. The experience that you bring to the table every day is extremely important to our organization, and we wish you continued good luck, and thanks again for making a difference in our community. Moving on the agenda, there were 4 items in the consent agenda: the staff acknowledgements, public complaints, financial variance, and police service response to elementary and secondary schools. Are there any of those items any one member would like pulled, or questions for the chief? Mayor Lehman first, please.
Yeah, I just had a quick question on the schools report.
Please.
Okay, thanks. My question on the thanks for the report. Very interesting to understand this new model Inside Out, which also is a great kids movie. Interestingly enough, I'm sure that was on purpose, not an accident. But interesting new model. I wasn't quite clear what it meant in terms of personnel deployment to schools and sort of the relationship with schools. Will we be continuing to have particular officers that build relationships with schools, or is this quite a different model of doing things?
Thank you very much, Chair. I have asked Deputy Allen he was the author of this report, and he will be responding to your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Mayor, happy to answer your question. Our model has changed with the implementation of our new community safety wellbeing team. While our program delivery would include the Inside Out program, our schools model is now focused predominantly on the primary schools and the younger aged children. Notwithstanding that, our relationship will continue with the high schools, and calls for service will still be addressed as they would. It just wouldn't be addressed necessarily by the same officers that would traditionally have been assigned to the schools in the past, and there will be a frontline response.
Okay, gotcha. And in terms of the actual presence of officers within the school, so you're going to a responsive model for the secondary schools rather than a sort of in-school presence, and then the inside out program for the younger kids with the objectives as laid out in the report. I got that right?
Yes, you're correct. In the Inside Out program, we're still continuing to try to build that within the community.
Okay, great. Thanks for that.
Thanks, Deputy Allen. Ms. Strawn, you have a question, please.
Not so much a question, just a comment. I just wanted to thank Deputy Allen and his team for putting together such a comprehensive report after the discussion that we had at our last month's board meeting. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
Mayor Lehman, was that your hand up, or were you, any other questions?
Oh, it's just getting dark here. I was putting on my ring light.
Any other questions with respect to the consent agenda items? Seeing none, motion to receive the 4 items, please. Councillor Thompson, seconded Mayor Lehman. Further questions, comments? Those in favor?
In favor.
Thank you. Included in our package was some detailed correspondence relating to a motion from City Council, Barrie Council, in November, and the backup to it. And I can also advise the board that there will be a formal summarization of that in response for council consideration. Any questions on that?
Just move to receive it.
Thank you very much. Chief Greenwood, back to you, please, for an update.
Thank you very much. We'll just be processing to share the screen in regards to the monthly updates at our board meeting. We'll start with our first slide, please. We had a very successful wrap up to our holiday season, and members always enjoy the opportunity to donate items or their time for various causes throughout our community. And pictured here, you will see officers volunteering at our Salvation Army Christmas Kettle. Our Records and Information Management Unit members donated items to our Family Connections Holiday Hamper Program, along with some of our community members making generous donations to our mitten tree, and our members distributing these items to locations of people in need within our community. We regularly have provided an update in regards to COVID-19 and how it is affecting our community and our service. We currently have 90% of our service are fully vaccinated. And on December the 22nd last year, just before the peak holiday times, the Barrie Police Service hosted a vaccination clinic at our headquarters for members of the service and our family members over the age of 18 years of age. We have a special thank you to Dr. Hugavine, Dr. Emerson, and Dr. Walnick and the paramedic services for coordinating this efforts and getting shots into the arms of our members and family. Additionally, paramedic services hosted several booster clinics. In addition to this one, included our members of our service, and our Barrie Fire and Emergency Services also opened up spots at the clinic that they were involved in. So we now have 57% of our service have received their 3rd dose, and we are very much appreciative to our first responder partners and our physicians. As it's very prominent in our community, the Omicron variant, it's impacted not only the community, but our first responders. But we are prepared with multiple deployment models, depending on the impact that this variant has on our service. We're very fortunate. We have not experienced significant staffing shortages, and we did deploy, have to redeploy to, in some circumstances, but there was no interruption in the delivery of our police service to our community. And our absentee rate due to individuals that are having COVID symptomatic symptoms or are COVID exposures have been between 2 and 5%. Recently, Bill C3 received royal assent in December and came into effect on January the 16th. The amendment to the criminal code enhances protections for healthcare workers and those who assist them and those assessing or accessing health services. The new intimidation offense will address circumstances where a healthcare worker or person seeking health services is subject to any intimidating conduct. This could include things such as threats, that are intended to provoke fear, to interfere with the duties of a healthcare worker, or to impede a person from receiving healthcare services. This specific obstructing offense prohibits individuals from, for those utilizing healthcare facilities. But it is important to note that this offense does not apply when a person is peacefully protesting or communicating information such as we've seen at picket lines outside health facilities, even if this has a minor impact on the ability of others to access these facilities. If we could have the next slide, please. This is a normal slide that we provide during our board meetings, just to give a highlight of the calls for service that we are receiving in our community. And I can say that we are going back to the volumes that we saw in regards to our responses pre-pandemic. So there seems to be a return to somewhat normal in regards to our calls for service. And we have seen a change in the response to mental health calls also. We're very consistent to what we saw prior to the impact of the pandemic in our community. I would like to highlight just a couple of investigations that we were involved in the month of December. On December the 21st, officers conducted a traffic stop and observed a cannabis cigarette on the lap of a driver. It was also determined that the driver was suspended driver and he was placed under arrest for that offense. A search of that vehicle resulted in officers locating a loaded 9mm Glock handgun, cocaine, fentanyl, crystal meth, cannabis, and some stolen license plate. The driver is now facing more than a dozen drug and weapons related charges. Also, on December the 22nd, the following day, the Barrie Police Internet Child Exploitation Unit arrested a male after a lengthy social media investigation. The accused used Instagram to create a fake account and reached out to several victims under the age of 18. He was arrested with multiple criminal offenses, including impersonation, luring a child, and making sexually explicit materials available to a child. And will be appearing before the courts in the near future. On December the 17th, Inspector Peter Dusnap from Investigative Services, Chief McNeely from the Kingston Police, and OPP Deputy Commissioner Cox and I participated in an event at OPP headquarters in Orillia, which was for the launch of the Provincial Human Trafficking Intelligence-led Joint Forces Investigation Strategy. At the launch, I provided details in regards to Project Harwich, a human trafficking investigation that began in Barrie and revealed multiple victims. 2 suspects were identified, arrested, and charged, and Project Harwich emphasized the importance of this joint services strategy. Our traffic unit during the month of December conducted multiple R.I.D.E events for the holiday season and will be conducting more in the upcoming months. These festive R.I.D.E events and our regular R.I.D.E events have resulted in multiple license suspensions, highway traffic act offenses, and sadly, we still have individuals driving impaired on the streets of our city. They were arrested for these offenses and other criminal code offenses. This is an opportunity to highlight some of the work that is occurring within our human resources unit. We were busy last month as we hosted the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police Essential Competency Interview course, which brought recruiting police officers from across the province together to learn skills required for interviewing police candidates. And speaking of recruiting, our human resource unit has commenced our 2022 hiring process in order to fill positions due to retirements and resignations. We have included offering positions to experienced officers from other services in our recruitment drive. We believe hiring some experienced officers along with new recruits is a balanced approach to replace those individuals who have left our service and provides for a balance between acquiring strong talent while maintaining fiscal responsibility. I'll throw it out there. Any experienced officers looking to join the Barrie Police Service, please submit your applications by February the 27th. And we will also be running an experienced officer information session next Tuesday, which is January the 25th. So any interested officers, please contact our recruiter, Jason Fry, and more information can be found on our website. We regularly provide information to the board and the community in regards to our continued efforts for seeking funding opportunities to support the important work and partnerships that we are involved in, as well as to assist with fiscal responsibilities. We have recently submitted several provincial grant applications and are hopeful that they will be approved in the future. 2 are under the province's Community Safety and Policing Grant. One is focusing on evidence-based and harm-focused policing, and the other is our Technical Crimes Advancement. We also have another under the Mental Health and Addiction Grant. We have named this the One Stop Shop, which focuses on improving accessibility to social service agencies for those that are most vulnerable in our community through the creation of a community social services campus. Regrettably, our application under the Provincial Mobile Crisis Response Team Enhancement Grant was not approved. It was a very competitive process with over 52 other applications. I would really like to take the time to thank members and our partner agencies that have put time and effort into this application. And I know the team will continue looking for grant opportunities for the Barrie Police Service Crisis Response Team pilot. As we saw earlier in the board meeting today, we continued with annual awards ceremony to recognize members of our community and our service for their outstanding acts of bravery, altruism, and their commitment to and contributions to public safety and security. Although 2020 was a challenging year, it did not stop our members or our community from continuing to go above and beyond in their commitment to keep our community safe. We were unable to hold, as I mentioned before, our annual ceremonies due to COVID. However, we've been able to present the awards to the recipients throughout the year in a safe manner. On behalf of the service, I congratulate all of the recipients. Our awards include formal commendation certificates, civilian awards, civilian recognition awards, bravery awards, life-saving awards, and Chief of Police awards. A media release detailing each award will be posted tomorrow morning, and congratulations on behalf of all of the members of the service to all of the recipients. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chief. Any questions or comments from the members, or use it as an opportunity for community concerns for the Chief, please? Not seeing any. I will provide some comments if I may, Chief. Obviously, in that presentation, there were a lot of things to be commended and a lot of things to be recognized. But the one thing that jumped out at me was with respect to the absenteeism of 2 to 5% as a result of COVID. On behalf of the board, I think that the service should be commended. And those type of numbers are not what I have seen or heard of, and to be in the 2 to 5% range is quite an accomplishment. So please extend our appreciation to the membership for that, Chief.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Anything else for the Chief? Not seeing anything. Our next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, February the 17th, 2022. We will meet virtually in February, and the plan is at this stage of the game that effective March, we will move back to in-person meetings. So February virtual, March in person. Obviously, it's a moving target right now. I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting today.
So moved.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Chief, and the senior management team for all the work that goes into these reports. We appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.